The week that it is with Thanksgiving coming, I'm sure plenty of you have a lot in front of you this week. But I did not want to not have a call. So we're going to have a call for everybody who showed up. So thank you for showing up today. It's always good, when you have a call and people show up, because if you have a call and people don't show up, that feels a little weird. So, hey, it's great to see you guys this morning. Somebody kick us off and give us a win. What's a win you've had this week? Come on. What you got? What you got? I know you had a win.
I got to win.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it, Shelly.
I just got back from 2.5 weeks and doing a cruise to Hawaii for my 20th anniversary with my husband. I feel rested, rejuvenated, and ready to go. I came back and I've got two under contract.
Come on now. That's what I'm talking about. Get to go to Hawaii, put you under contract, and hey, congratulations on 20 years. That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Awesome. All right, somebody else this morning. What do you got? What do you
I would
got?
like to share.
Go,
So
Keith.
this is Keith in Las Vegas. So I joined officially on Friday. So last Friday I
Yeah, yeah,
joined
yeah.
Real, and so just a few days ago, and I have been content creating, and so my third most viral video ever, which had the logo from 7 seconds through the 33rd second. So I about
Yeah.
464,000 people have now known that I'm with Real in Las Vegas
Woo.
because I was able to do. There was an attraction called Enchant at the Las
Love it.
Vegas ballpark, and so I went
Yeah.
and captured before opening day, and then launched it on the opening day with the new logo and everything. So it was a great moment
Good
and
for you,
fun to
brother.
fun to do. Yeah, I'm glad to
Hey,
be here too.
hey, congratulations, buddy. That's awesome. 464,000. Y'all give it up for Keith over there. It's awesome out there in Vegas. That's what I'm talking about. Dan put over here, got a potential site for C-Store for group you're working with. That's what I'm talking about, Dan. Looks like we got people still coming in. Anybody else this morning got a win?
My son came home from military academy for the
Oh,
holidays.
oh, I love it. Gonna get to spend time with your son for the holiday. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Love it. Nothing better, right? Nothing better. I was a good friend of mine. He's got two kids already in college. His other one will leave this year. And he was telling me that Thanksgiving's a big deal for them now because they've tried to make their house the house where everybody comes to. And I came home, I told my bride, I was like, hey, we got 5 summers left with our kids. We have to be the house where everybody comes to. Okay? Like we got to be where they are. I'll just bring them all here. Bring all your friends here. That's fine. I mean, I ain't doing their laundry or nothing, but you can bring them here. We'll give them food. So anybody else today got to win? Anybody else? Okay, well, hey, I'm going to jump right in. We may jump off a little bit early today, but I did not want to miss the opportunity today to make sure that we all are focusing on something that, quite frankly, we should focus on every single week and every single day. But we're going to heavily focus on it today with Thanksgiving coming this week. And that is gratitude. And you've heard me coach on it before. You've heard me in a room coach on it. You've heard me on these calls. But here's what I can tell you. Literally, the position of gratitude, and I want you to hear my language. Gratitude is a position that you put yourself into. It's not something that just happens. It's a cognitive choice that you and I make, and an actual action that we choose to put ourselves into a position of gratitude. And here's what I know. When you put yourself into a position of gratitude, okay, it literally changes the way that you think, which then changes the way that you act, which then automatically changes the results that you get. I cannot explain to you the importance of you and I and our mindset around gratitude, okay? It can literally change the course of your day. It can literally change, I believe, the course of your life just by making that decision. So I want to coach you around it today on how we really, really do this at a high level. And here's what I want you to know first. Gratitude is not a mood, okay? All right, gratitude is not a mood. Gratitude is a lens by which we see things. Okay, you tracking with me on this? Like there are days, I'm just going to be very clear, very plain. There are days I don't wake up in gratitude. All right, like I don't open my eyes and I'm like, this is going to be amazing. I don't wake up like that. Okay, there are days I wake up and I'm like, no, I think I need to lay here a little bit longer. Okay. Things are not going my way. I'm frustrated. I lost 5 deals over the weekend. I got my tail chewed out by a buyer or seller, right? Maybe things are out of rhythm inside the four walls of my home. Like there are just days I just don't wake up like that. So I have to make the choice to put myself in the position and change my lens. Okay, you with me on this? Um, it makes everything look different. Okay, so I'm learning this heavily too at 47 years old over here. I'm gonna be 48 years old next week now. Y'all watch out. Okay, um, uh, but I've learned that in the mornings, I can't see anything without my glasses. I can't see anything, Felicia. Like I look at my phone and I don't know what it says. Okay? And so I have to put on a lens that gives me a different view of what I'm looking at so I can see it more clear. That's what gratitude does for us. You with me on this? Okay. So here's what I want to coach you on today. I want to coach you on the 3 rooms of gratitude. Okay? I'm going to give you the 3 rooms of gratitude and I trust this is going to help you this week as you move into Thanksgiving on Thursday. All right. Here's the first room I want you to write down. It's called the room behind you. Okay. It's called the room behind you. It's reflection. The first place where you and I need to search for gratitude is in the room behind us. Right? You may be like, wait a sec, coach, I don't want to go back in the past. Yes, I want you to go back in the past. And here's why. Because there are people in your past that have believed in you, and you wouldn't be where you are if they hadn't believed in you the way that they did. Okay? Do you know how many people I've had in Dusty Oglesby's life that took a stand for me in moments where I felt like I didn't have the strength to take a stand for myself? Okay? So there are people in rooms behind you that helped shape you. There are moments that grew you. Yes or no? There are moments, if you look back on reflection, there are moments that without these certain moments, I wouldn't be the person I am today. I wouldn't have the strength that I have today. I wouldn't have the courage I have today. I wouldn't be able to help others in the way that I have today. And Lisa, I love that you said this over in the chat box. She said that's a tough room. Hey, raise your hand if the reflection room is a tough room. Okay. Um, Here's what I want to make sure we gather in this. Okay. I want to ask you a question, and it's a tough question because Lisa's spot on. The room of reflection is a tough room. And can I tell you, this is why we don't go to the room of reflection? You with me on this? In our humanity, we're like, I don't want to go there. I'm going to stay here. In fact, I'm going to pretend that there didn't have it. But here's what I want you to know. Do you have something in your past that you wouldn't want to repeat, but you're grateful that you've lived through it today? Okay? And if you and I look deep into the room of reflection, we're going to find some days maybe we wish were different. Okay? Um, like there are some dark days in my past that although I would not for any reason want to repeat them, they did work in the shaping of who I am. Okay, you guys tracking with me? Um, there are struggles that have strengthened us in the room of reflection, right? Anybody take a detour in the room of reflection? You ever had a detour in life? You ever thought you were going this direction? Everything's planned, all things are good, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, whoa, hold on. That was not part of the plan. Okay, you guys tracking with me on this? Here's what I know about gratitude in the room of reflection. Okay. Um, and and
Dusty,
and that yes, ma'am. Go, Shelley.
I- I've actually gone back to that room of reflection a few times when things aren't going my way or the way I want them to go. I go back and I'm like, what did I do that caused me for things not to go the way I want them to? To look back and see, well, what can I do to change either my attitude, my way that I'm thinking, the way I want to go
Yeah.
to making it better for me.
Yeah. Shelly, I love that you just said that because that's exactly what it's for, right? For us, literally for us to go back and reflect on and go, hey, one reason for us to acknowledge, hey, I got through that. You guys with me on this? Right? So like when I have challenging days hit me in my today, I look back in reflection and go, hey, I can get through this. Okay. Felicia, what do you got?
Yeah, I was you kind of took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say, I know that we're looking at the room of reflection, that it can be a tough one, but for me, I think a lot of times I look back that I like to build an altar for me being of faith, right? I like to build an altar to God's faithfulness in my past. So I know that no matter what I'm dealing with today, I know that He brought me through something in the past that give me the strength, give me the encouragement that I know that I'm going to make it through whatever I'm going through right now.
Come on. Come on. I love that. I love that. Hey, a question I would ask you is what have you learned in the room of reflection that can help you today in the current room that you're in? All right. Here's what I can tell you. One thing I've learned about the room of reflection is I've had a lot of humility built out of that room. A lot. Okay. But here's what I know. Humility is where gratitude grows because it allows us to get vulnerable enough to acknowledge. Okay, you tracking with me? So the first room I want you to go to is the room of reflection. I want you right now to go ahead and write down some things you're grateful for from that room. Maybe some people that you're grateful for from that room. Okay? What are some things you're grateful for from that room? What are some people you're grateful for from that room? What are some relationships that you're grateful for from that room? You guys with me? And and what I want you to draw from those things is the good. Okay? Everybody hear me? I want you to draw from the good. I want you to grab the good. And I want you to be grateful for the moments. Okay, you with me? That's putting yourself into a position of gratitude. And I love Lisa said, hey, there's a lot of crying on that one. Here's what I've learned. There's good tears and there's bad tears, right? I want you to find the good tears here. The ones that create that level of, hey man, I just wouldn't be where I'm at. And I'm thankful. Keith, what do you got, buddy?
I just want to share real quick. So I was on a run this year, like a 1 mile trail run with my son and my daughter. And the only reason they were running with me is because I have two pinched nerves. And I was trying to get back out there and see if I could, what I can and can't do. So I'm running on this trail and I droned it, I have a drone, so I had it auto track. And when I was running, I got this perfect clip of me and my son running. That never would have happened if I wasn't going through this pain and suffering this year. And so even though it's more about the current pain and the current, lens that I'm looking through, it's, when I was running back down the hill and I was beating the kids, and they're trying to keep up, but even their old man who is broken, still beating them. I was like, wow, I'm grateful for this moment. Like I'm grateful for this pain. And I just started saying, I am grateful. And I was running at a great little speed. And, I think it was just recently when I was deciding to come here, I was listening to a podcast that talked about as soon as you can bring gratitude into anything, especially those past moments, you're on a different bell curve of healing and mindset and strengthening, like of a firm, because we all have the suffering, and sometimes we grow more through the suffering.
That's right. Yeah.
And so just embracing all those, I definitely have a past. Like I have a notebook over here that has all my years of my life where I can go through and create silver linings from all those past lessons, and I haven't done it all.
Love it. I love
but it's over here. Anyway, I just want to share.
Well said, brother. Well
So
said.
I'm grateful for all my current pains and my
Love
past
that.
experiences.
I love that. Well, hey, that's the second part here, Keith. You led into it perfect because the second room is the one you're in. That's the second room. The one you're in right now today. And this is the room that I just call awareness. Okay. We have reflection. Okay. And then we have awareness. All right. The room today is right now. And here's what I think we do in the right now. Here's what I do. I think I overlook. Anybody else do that? I think I get so caught up maybe in pain from the past or frustrations of the present or things that I wish were different, and I overlook what I have. You ever do that? Okay. Can I tell you something? Time is going to outrun you. Don't overlook. Okay. I had a super cool moment when I was at Rise. My family got to come with me this year, which was super awesome. And my son went into the room with me just to kind of watch, and kind of see what was going on in there. And somebody snapped a picture from behind myself and my son. And if I can find it, I'm going to show it to you. But it gave me this moment of clarity of what I have, and really focused me in on the gifts, right? And so I don't see it here, so I won't bring it up, but I'll tell you what it was. It was very simply, oh, here it is. I got to show this. I got to show this to you. So let me pull this up and I'll show this to you. Okay. He took a picture from behind me and my son. And here's the picture. Can everybody see that? Can you see it now? Yes? Okay. So do you see how both of us are standing? Literally identical. Like he's leaning back the same way I am. We both have our hands in our pockets. Can I tell you why that's so cool? Because that dude doesn't have any of my DNA in him, but he has it all over him. Right?
He does have your DNA, he just doesn't have your biological DNA.
That's exactly right, Shelly. Right? And I just had this moment where I thought, man, I get to be that dude's dad. How cool is that? Right? Now, I don't want him doing everything that I do. Right? But I want him doing a lot. I want him doing a lot. Okay? So here's what I want you to think about. I want to give you some examples. You have breath in your lungs today. Come on, man. Like you get to do this today. Like this is your day, this is your week, this is your life. You get the gift of that, and we need to sit in the position of the gratitude of that. Okay? You have opportunities in front of you that there are people that would dream of. You're living a life today that you used to dream of. Okay? You guys tracking with me on this? You have people, everybody hear me. You have people in your corner. You with me? I'm one of them. Okay? I'm in your corner. I'm for you. I love you. I celebrate you. Look at the people on this screen. Think about the people in your world that weren't here before. Maybe they've been more recent, but you have all of this in your world. You get the opportunity today to make generational choices, okay, that will radically have an impact when you are no longer here. That's the gift you have. Okay? My kids turn 13 January 4th. I have 5 more years with them before they leave my house. That's a gift. Like I'm going to take every single moment of that. Are you guys tracking with me on this? Let me ask you a couple questions in this room. What have you taken for granted this year? What have you taken for granted this year? All right. Here's another question. What do you have right now in your life that somebody else would absolutely pray to have? And you have it. You with me? I don't want us to get caught up in what we don't or what we lack. Can I tell you what lack does? Lack brings more lack. Okay. I want us to get real clear on who we are today, what we have, and the opportunities. Okay. This room creates presence, and presence creates peace. Okay. Like living right now, being where your feet are, that creates peace. Okay. I love that. Julia said, "What if you woke up tomorrow with only the things you were thankful for today?" Okay, think about that. Okay, all right. And here's the last room. We talked about the room behind. We talked about the room we're in. I'm pretty confident you know what the next room is. It's the one that's coming. Okay, it's the one that's coming. And I coached you on this last week, but this room's called hope. Okay, this room's called hope. And I want you to remember that last week I told you that hope still is not a strategy. You can't just sit here and hope things get better. Okay? If gratitude is a position and better is an action, then we've got to put ourselves into a position of hope. Okay? Hope means this, that what ahead is still worth walking toward. That what's out there for me, it's still worth it. I'm still going to keep running. I'm still going to keep going because I believe and I trust in what's ahead of me. Okay? So I want you to ask yourself these questions before we get off today. What are you thankful for that hasn't even happened yet? Right? And you'd be like, Coach, that's a weird question because it hasn't happened yet. I firmly believe that we can bring things into existence based on the position of our heart and the position of our mind and calling them into place. And so I want to ask you, what are you thankful for that hasn't even happened yet? Call it into place, like call it into being. You guys tracking with me? Keith, what do you got?
So I am tracking with you, and I think Keith Jones drones. Like, I don't know if you guys know this. I'm Keith Jones. I live in Las Vegas, and Keith Jones drones. And Keith Jones is the worst name to market because there are so many Keith Jones, and they play every sport, but no one that name is Keith Jones drones like I do.
Yeah.
And I honestly am grateful because I know that I'm going to be the most active drone pilot in Las Vegas this next year. And someday I'm going to be the most talented drone pilot and real estate agent combined, like the guy that can actually do everything and create the content. And that's what 2026 is about for me. And I've been on the news now like 5 times in the last since I joined Real. I have my third best clip up there. I got Dusty in my corner, which I know that he's exactly who I need. And then I got this guy Ken in Orlando. That's the #1 social media marketing person. And I chose all this not because things are good. Things have been challenging.
Yeah.
It's that I have to succeed better next year than I did this year. And this year I went from 22 GC high back up to maybe my best. I just put the deal I put since I've been at Real might actually be my best year of GCI ever, which isn't crazy. It's under 150, but I know I have to succeed next year, not for me, for others. And so I made some big changes when I was business planning.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, and it was to add Dusty and all you in my corner, and then to really get clear on what I love and what I'm good at. And I don't think I've ever been as good at anything as droning. It sounds weird. And it only took me 3 years. And
I love it, brother.
If you look up Keith Jones drones, you're going to see some good clips like the one today. It ends with change the way you look at things and the things you look at change.
Come on.
It's a good video.
Hey, I'll tell you this. I think everybody in this call is going to remember Keith Jones Drones. I love that name, bro. I love it. And I love your heart and I love your passion. Hey, you guys could hear.
I'm so grateful to be here.
You guys could hear that in his voice, right? That's what I'm talking about, okay? That we call it into being, that we go after it, okay? Because here's what that does for us, okay? This room creates possibility. And you have to believe that it's possible. You tracking with me? If you've been in a room with me before, you know that when I talk about change, I tell you that change is personal, change is profitable, and change is possible. Okay? But let me tell you the one thing I can't do for you. I cannot believe it for you. You have to believe it for you. All right. And then we got to put action into what we do. And that possibility, that room of possibility creates opportunity and it creates momentum and it creates massive change. And you literally can make those changes right here, right now. And that's what I want you to go into this week thinking, okay? That the change is you. You can be the change. All right. And so 3 quick rooms. I just want to give them to you again. The room of reflection, right? The room of reflection. That room creates humility. Okay. The room you're in now, which is the room of awareness, that room creates presence. Okay. And then the room that you're going to, the room ahead, this is the hope room, and this room creates possibility. All right. Here's what I want to ask you to do when you get off the call today. All right. I guarantee you this will change the DNA of your body if you'll do it. I want you to pick one person that you are unbelievably grateful for today, and I want you to call them and I want you to tell them. I don't want you just to say, hey, I'm grateful for you. I want you to say, I'm grateful for you, and then I want you to tell them specifically why. All right? And I guarantee you it's going to change your DNA. It's going to change their DNA. You and I get a choice in gratitude. It's a position that you put yourself in, okay? All right, team. Hey, I love you. Bless you. Have a blessed Thanksgiving. I will see you next Monday, okay? And I'll be turning 48 right there on that day, Monday 48. Come on now. I love you guys. Bless you. We'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, brother. Love you.
Thank you, brother. Bless you guys. Have a blessed Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, all.